There exists a widespread opinion that Ukrainian cities have turned into faceless concrete jungles with many similar high-rise buildings. Would you agree that almost every city has preserved the history and cultural heritage of our ancestors in our country? Let's talk about interesting places to admire in ZP. So, take a look at the oldest school in the city, Medenschule. Would you agree that this gem of architecture is truly fascinating? Just imagine that this masterpiece was built by Mennonite migrants in 1895. By the way, in order to be a full member in the Mennonite community, everyone needed to be able to read and interpret the Bible. Therefore, school attendance for all children was required. It is wonderful that such a structure of white and red bricks has survived to the present day. It's great that this building delights and amazes not only local residents but also visitors of the city. So, were you aware the historical and cultural complex Zaporižžia Sich is the most popular tourist site of our city? Indeed, 150,000 people visit this place every year. These buildings represent a reconstruction of an old Cossack fortress of the 16th through 18th century. By the way, the island of Horditsa was a strategic point on the way of the raids of the Tatars on the Ukrainian lands at that time. Now, take a glance at the most remarkable castle in ZP. This cultural heritage is called Valens Castle. Its history is breathtaking. The wife of the famous industrialist Andras Valman, Katharina, planned to arrange a kindergarten here. The three-story palace has a large number of arched windows, doors, and balconies. It began to be built in the early 20th century, and it was completed after the revolution. Can you imagine that each of the four sides of the castle looks completely unique, not like the others? It's really great that such an architectural creation is preserved in ZP. We recommend visiting this place. The Dnipro hydroelectric station has become an indisputable symbol of Zaporožje since the beginning of the 20th century. Its construction began in 1927 and was completed in just 6 years. However, in 1941, the building structure was blown up and it was resumed only in 1947. The dam of the Dnipro HES is impressive not only during the day but also at night. On holiday evening, fireworks flash over the dam, thousands of citizens and tourists admire it. Don't forget to take a picture from this place if you are in Zaporožje. Among other things, the building of the hospital and separate shelter of Heinrich Bayer is considered one of the most unusual houses in ZP. This building is admired for its style and beauty. The hospital was built in 1910. The remains of the inscription of the facade of the building indicates that Heinrich Bayer owned this hospital. The maternity hospital is still in operation. Don't miss the chance to see a piece of modern architecture which was built at the very beginning of the 20th century. One couldn't fail to mention the monument of cultural heritage of Ukraine, bridges of Preobrazhensky. They connect the left and right banks of Zaporožje across the island Horditsa. Two elegant art bridges easily and beautifully fit into the landscape of the banks of the Dnipro. Bridges were opened in 1952 and are still an integral part of our daily life. Just imagine that the Zaporižžya Philharmonic Hall was one of the first philharmonic halls in the USSR. The Glinka Concert Hall was designed by the architect George Wegman and engineer Shapilsky and was built in the early 1950s. Today, the Glinka Concert Hall is one of the best halls of this kind in Europe. The Philharmonic Hall holds symphony concerts, literature evenings, tours of foreign performers, festivals, competitions, and creative meetings. Would you agree with me that the facade of the building is very attractive? So we advise to visit this theater and enjoy the great performances. It's really amazing that some cultural heritage of our ancestors has survived. Our duty is to save it for future generations.